The Martian by Andy Weir, first published in 2011, is about a dude who gets left behind on Mars due to a dust storm. Well, I gotta say, this book cover hits the main plot on the head, like I hit my church confessional booth after the voices subside. Anyways, he is now stuck playing hardcore survival in the Mars biome expansion pack while NASA figures out how to patch his playthrough. My friend recommended it to me, saying that it might be right up my alley. I've heard good things about the movie that came out a few years ago, but I'm not really a movie person. I was also extremely bored at my job and was looking for a distraction. I ended up finishing it in a single day at work under 6 hours. Bless online library ebooks. On retrospect, I'm beginning to wonder if this book is an allegory for my current situation of being in an unfamiliar land where time has taken on a slow, strange drip, like a Chinese water torture. Nah, the voices tell me that's unlikely. The beginning is solid. Big storm, taking inventory, formulating a survival plan. It establishes the setting quite well. I like the whole daily log journaling way of storytelling, occasionally interrupted by some regular third person and omniscient narrator. The writing style reminds me a lot of Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, in having the main dude's wit and humor front and center, like an influencer's personality, in the most generous definition of influencer and personality. There was the rare poetic part about the serene Mars environment when the dude is taking a moment to rest. I love me some romantic, passionate, throbbing imagery, and I wish there was more. The main dude's fun personality is actually the only thing I remember. Speaking of the main dude, I don't even remember his name, much less any of the NPCs. The plot was also more predictable than the daily news. Every time he's on the right tracks, the dude gets hit with a setback, but figures a way out. I started playing Guess the Next Tragedy, and after a while nothing really surprised me. Halfway through, I stopped caring about the main character because he felt difficult to relate to. Every time he hits a seemingly insurmountable problem, he just thinks for a day before remembering that his bong can use the sins of the damned as a source of power or some bullshit. I guess I just wanted him to actually suffer from isolation and descend into madness, like the rest of us. The ending was a little limp and predictable, but satisfactory, like my sex life. The author definitely took a lot of care to be as accurate as possible, given the amount of praise it has received from the science people. It's hard to impress someone who buys top-of-the-line astro-tracking telescopes just to nut at a slightly larger image of a white dot. It also very low-key felt like an advertisement for space funding at times, but I'm not sure why, as it took the piss out of NASA a lot. Oh well, I don't mind. I do think space is cool beans, and NASA made all sorts of cool shit, like a solid dry lubricant coating and artificial limbs, which offer the natural look and feel of flesh, according to Wikipedia. All in all, The Martian is like a New Year's resolution. It's cool, I guess, but it has no real impact, and it's completely forgotten after a week. And a global tragedy. Despite my complaints, it's still not bad. It was still a pretty fun read, or at least more fun than my job. Plot-wise, it felt a little bit too simple, but not every book needs to be quotable in hipster bar poetry slams. It's probably a better read for young, starry-eyed middle school or high school students curious about space, rather than a jaded cynic like me, but I'll admit the humor still got to me. If you liked the movie and are looking to get back into reading, or if you just want a simple but fun read about Mars survival to pass the time, then I definitely recommend The Martian. But if you prefer books with deeper characters and intricacies and have an oversized head, then look elsewhere. So yeah, I recommend The Martian, but with a slight hesitance rather than great enthusiasm.